Hey friends, Josh Kerr from First Presbyterian Church in Claremore. I hope you get a chance to get outside today. It is beautiful. It's like spring outside. The sun is shining. There's a light breeze. Go enjoy the beautiful weather. I want to talk to you about something that is obviously consuming the news cycle right now, and that is coronavirus or COVID-19. You have seen different responses from countries around the world as the virus has made its way there, but I want to talk to you specifically about how we at First Presbyterian Church are responding to meet this challenge. First, we continue to trust in the Lord to watch over us and to see us through this challenge. We know that the Lord is with us, guiding our actions and upholding us, and we will continue to trust without fear. Trusting and moving without fear does not mean that we do not prepare. We will use the brains that God has given us and expects us to use to meet this challenge. All while we're doing that, we're going to continue to pray for those who have contracted the illness. We will pray for those who are caregivers to those experiencing the illness. And we will also pray for the critical decisions being made by our national leaders as they seek the Lord's wisdom in meeting this challenge head on. Let me tell you briefly a few of the practical steps that we're taking here at the church. First, we're going to continue to hold worship in the sanctuary. We're going to continue to meet for the foreseeable future. If something should change and we need to come up with an alternative for worship, we are working on plans for that right now. Second, we are going to be very diligent about cleanliness at church. That means the building. We're going to be wiping down doorknobs, crash bars, pews, all those things that see a lot of hand traffic on them with disinfectant on a regular basis. It will be cleaned before you arrive on Sunday, and it will be cleaned after you leave. Second, we are going to be diligent about hand washing. You probably know that hand sanitizer is hard to come by. But we do have lots of soap and warm water here at the church, and we are going to be using them a lot. That is the best thing you can do to keep yourself safe and those around you safe. Second, if you are ill, whether it's coronavirus, COVID-19, or you're just not feeling well, or if you are just a little too anxious to come to worship, it's okay to stay home. If you are ill, stay home. If you're anxious about coming, it's okay to stay home. But I want to ask one more thing of you, and that is that you let us know. Give us a call in the church office and let us know what's going on. 918-341-3562 is our number. 918-341-3562. Give us a call. Let us know that you're doing okay. We want to know what your needs are so we can support you, make sure those needs are met. And we're going to call and check up on you, see how you are doing. Next, it is okay for you to limit your physical contact when you join us for worship. It's okay to tell somebody that you'd rather not hug or handshake. You'd rather give a fist bump or just a polite nod, say hello. That is okay. And it's also important that we respect people's boundaries if they ask us not to touch them. Respect their boundaries without judgment. It is the least we can do in any situation, but especially now at this time of heightened awareness. We're also thinking about practical things like offering and communion. For offering, we will have some alternative way of taking up the offering that doesn't require every hand in the sanctuary to touch the offering plate. We are not sure what that procedure will be, but it will be in place for this coming Sunday. Next, communion procedures. Communion is always an issue for people who are concerned about germs. This comes up every flu season. So I want to tell you some guidelines that we're going to be using for communion anytime during flu season and especially right now with COVID-19 running around the country. First, anybody who is preparing or serving communion will be well. They will not be experiencing symptoms of illness, and they will not have recently exposed themselves to someone who is ill. We will make sure that every person who is intimately handling the elements for communion is well and has not recently been exposed. Second, both servers, the pastor, the communion servers, and those preparing preparing the communion elements will be washing their hands thoroughly before they begin, and they will refrain from touching their face throughout their service. So anybody who's touching the elements will be doing so with clean hands. Next, how are we going to take communion? I'm glad you asked. First, you will come forward. If you are able to physically come forward, you'll come forward. You will offer your hands like this, and I, as the pastor, will place a piece of bread in your hands. I will rip it off a common loaf, and I will place it in your hands. Then you will turn to the side of the sanctuary where you are seated, and there a server will hand you a cup and then you may partake of that cup and then dispose of it. The only people whose hands will touch the food, the bread and the cup that you partake of will be the pastor and the servers and the preparers, and all of them will be doing so with clean hands. If you are wanting to be served in your seat, then you will be served in a similar way, but at your seat, you will receive a piece of bread, you will receive a cup, rather than helping yourself to it, grabbing it off the loaf, or taking it out of the tray yourself. So, those are where our plans stand right now. I call on you all to continue to be in prayer for those affected by the virus, those dealing with the virus, whether caring for somebody or making critical decisions. But God bless you all in your prayers and in your lives. Stay well. Use the brain that God gave you. And I look forward to seeing you in worship this Sunday. Take care.